Okay.
Oh, you should have got 2 more fish.
Well, I was gonna get another track and connect it, make it longer and winding all around, but
Come on. Right.
yeah, I thought it'd be pretty cool. So, but it was kind of expensive. So, but anyways, we're on section 4.4, 4.5. We're gonna be adding and subtracting. So adding and subtracting
Decimals.
decimals. Yeah.
Didn't miss anything.
Okay, so this is the part we're on. We're going to be adding and subtracting decimals. The big thing I want to make sure that we're going to review, let's do a quick review of the column method, of how you add and subtract. So I think this is kind of important that we actually review this. So column method. Just the big thing about this is make sure that when you're doing the column method, there's a few rules. Number one, you guys are pretty good at this. When you add or subtract, you have to line up the decimal point. We line up the decimal point, and I know this is my rule, but I want you to go right to left. I know that seems silly when you go right to left, but the reason why you're doing that is in case you need to borrow, that you know when to do that, how to do that, so you're not getting the wrong answer. So I want you to go right to left when you're kind of practicing this. I know that, like Sam, I know last week you were saying that you can get to an answer pretty quick going left to right, like reading a book. But I do want you to go right to left in case we need to borrow, so you're not getting incorrect answers.
Tell Jake come handy.
Yeah. But anyways, we're doing the column method. Make sure that when you get done, this is something we didn't talk about last week, is when you're actually done adding or subtracting, number 3, the final step that I want you to kind of do when you're going straight down.
So what you're basically saying is running book upside down.
Yeah. So you're doing the math straight down. Remember that. That's why we line up the decimal points and stuff. But that was something I know. I just took it for granted. I didn't really talk about it. That you're going straight down. You're not doing anything where we're like multiplying where we go diagonally or anything like that. But number 4. The thing that we really, that I didn't cover, like straight down, like I didn't say it, you guys just kind of knew what to do. But number 4, you should check your answer, check results. The reason why I want you to check the results doesn't even make sense. Because here's the idea. Let's say we're doing a problem like this. 3.2, and we're going to be subtracting 1. Okay, so let's talk about subtracting our decimals. The big thing about subtracting decimals is that you need to line up the decimal points. So if we have 3.2 and we're subtracting 1.6, you want to line up the decimal points so that they're directly on top of each other. The big thing is you will need to borrow. Remember that, yeah. So you need to borrow the decimals. So you're going to borrow from the 3, making that a 2, and making this a 12. Because remember, you always carry the 1 over to the next column. Now, the big thing is you're going to subtract 12 and 6, so it's 12 minus 6, and you're going to get 6. And then the next number, you're going 2 minus 1. And again, the decimal came straight down, so you're putting the decimal right there. 2 minus 1 is 1. Yeah. So there's your answer, 1.6. And again, that should have made sense. We talked about, guesstimating or estimating that number before we started. Talking about, taking roughly, you're taking 3, and you're going to almost be subtracting 2. So you should be in that 1 ballpark. That's kind of an estimation of what we're getting before we start, because you're not adding. You're not going to be getting 4.8. If you got 4.8 as your answer, you're not thinking about what you're doing. You need to check the results over again, right? Because that would be adding the 2, and we want to subtract. You're taking $3 and you're subtracting 1. Okay. All right. So that's the first problem. Now let's do the second one. We're going to be looking at some bigger numbers. So let's do some longer decimals here. So the next one I want to have, let's go with 58. We're going to go 58, and we're going to subtract 0.0334. Okay, so we're going to be subtracting these. The big thing is we need to line up the decimal. So the problem is on the first number, there's no decimal point. So we're going to have to put a decimal point after the 8. And so when we line this up, we're going to have to put the larger number on the top, which is 58. That is obviously larger than $0.03, right? So 58, we're going to subtract 0.0334. That is literally like 3 pennies. And we're going to be subtracting. And again, when you start this problem, you need to line up the zeros, or length of decimals and fill in all your zeros so the numbers are exactly the same length. And now we're going to start borrowing, because if you look at the back, you have 0 minus 4. We can't even do that. So we'd have to borrow from the number in front, which we don't have that. We have no number here, no number here. We have to borrow from the 8. So we have to borrow from 8, making that 7. Making this a 10, so you have to put a 1 in front of it. You're going to borrow from the 10, making that a 9. Bring the 1 over, borrow from that 10, making that a 9, make this a 10. Borrow from that 10, making that a 9, and now this is a 10. 10 minus 4, that's 6. 9 minus 3, that is 6. 9 minus 3, that's 6 again. 9 minus 0 is 9. And now 7 minus 0 is 7, and 5. And yes, so you get 57. That should have been roughly what you're getting. Right, you're taking $58 and you're subtracting a few pennies. So we're at $57. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Second example here, let's do some adding. So we've been subtracting this whole time. Let's do a little bit of addition here to kind of talk about some numbers I want to get. So I want to add, let's go $4 roughly. So we're going to take $4 and about 9 cents, it's 0.085. We're going to be adding 1.039. Okay, we're going to be adding these two together. Now the good thing is they're already the same length, but we have to line up the decimal. So we have 4.085. We're going to be adding 1.039. And again, when you add the back numbers together. So we get 14. We add 1 plus 8 plus 3. So 8 and 3 make 11. We add 1 more, we get 12. Carry the 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. And 4 plus 1 is 5. And that's roughly what you should get, right? You're taking $4, you're adding roughly $1, you're at the $5 mark. Does that make sense? Now, what we were talking about last week was when we were checking out our website, right? The website required that what we're going to do is we're going to have some blanks in here. So it would be something similar to like 4.085 equals blank minus 1.039. So the idea is that when you want to solve for these blanks, like what number do you use to subtract 1.39 from to get 4.85? The trick was you bring this number to the other side, and we always do an opposite. Yeah. So if it was subtraction, you're going to add it. So we're going to be adding the 1.039. And so that's where this number comes in. We're finding that number that we would have had originally. Okay, so I'll send you the link to the website, and we'll check that out. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're on the Math Games website again. We're going to go down, and the last time we did this, we were doing adding and subtracting up to 2 places, right? You guys picked 548. What I'd like you to do is do the add and subtract decimals up to 10. So that's 549. Okay, so I'm going to click on it. Okay. Now this one, I know it's level 1 of 4. On this particular problem, as you get going, make sure that you're typing in the right answer. Again, up above, they're going to give you a little story problem. So it talks about, like on this one, it says Nick bought 0.3 pounds of candy. It's actually quite a bit of candy, a third of a pound. And Isabel bought almost $2, or almost 1.7 pounds of candy. How many total pounds of candy are at the party? You'd have to add these together. So again, when you add them, you have to line up the decimal points. So I would add the 1.7. You're going to add the 0.3. Line up the decimal point because we're trying to find the total candy. How much candy. So when you add, that's 10. You'd carry the second digit over. You would add straight down. That's 2. And that's the number you'd add. And now, when you type it in, you can just type in 2. You don't have to hit 2.0. If you type it in, I believe that, I don't even know if it will allow you to type 2.0. Actually, it will. So you enter it in. It told me good try. It was the actual answer. It was 2. So that's really funny that it didn't actually take 2.0. That's funny. All right. But again, try to go through. If it turns out to be a whole number, you can just type the whole number. You don't even use decimals. Okay? Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Again, take
How
your
many
time.
questions do you need?
About 10. So, go about 10. And again, if it's a whole number, you don't need to worry about it. Just make sure on the computer, when you're done, don't go to websites where you're showing your password and stuff until I turn off the camera. I don't need the internet knowing what your passwords are.
Oops, I see what I did there.
Or,
Already done?
yep.
Jeez. Oh, we got to push them to 5. I didn't even get that far. Gotta stop. Start. Nice. Just a few. No?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Done? Okay, if you want to try it again, you can. You can always work on some of the other parts on that website.